Perfect. How's everybody doing? Good?
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
Okay, so call to order the City of West Bend Community TV Committee meeting. We've got 5 items on our agenda. First item, approval of the minutes, Community TV Committee regular meeting, August 11th, 2020, 5:30 p.m. I need a motion.
Moves.
A motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
You're on. Okay.
Close enough. I think we got that. Is that okay? Who would have made the motion there?
I did.
Okay, and we have a second. We got that recorded. Okay. Next item, we're going to meet Nicole, the communications manager, who I have not met yet.
Yeah.
So hang on, let me get here. All right. Hi, Nicole.
Hi. Nice
How
to
are
meet
you
everyone. Good. How are you?
A little background and where you're from and all that.
Sure. So, I grew up in West Bend, so I've been here my whole life. I went to college in Oshkosh for English and journalism. After that, I spent a couple years in the publishing industry, so doing a lot of writing, editing, a lot of networking, and some social media work. So I have a lot of experience in a lot of different categories that I think will be super helpful in this position.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you, Nicole. Jess, do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, we're so pleased to have Nicole join the team. She started in September with us full time and has really hit the ground running, and especially doing a lot of things social media for us. And it's been just greatly helpful having her and having her expertise in writing, especially, and being able to communicate. So, thanks, Nicole, for joining our team. Nicole joins us. She was most recently writing an editor for MKE Lifestyle, which is a magazine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I remember you saying that. That's very impressive. And the City of West Bend staff is also very impressive. So I hope you enjoy working with the city and Jess and John and everybody else on the screen here as well.
Maybe it would be nice if others could introduce themselves to Nicole if we have a minute or two.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good call. My name is Justice Model. Obviously, I'm the District 7 alderman, and I own a business up in Barton on Barton Avenue called Do Your Hair Justice. And that's about it. Who's next? John,
I'll go. I'm the old guy in the shop here. I've been around with cable TV since its first inception in West Bend. So I'm the guy who's got all the baggage and all knows where all the skeletons are buried and they're hiding or what have you. And I've been a member of the cable TV committee since I don't work there anymore. I actually did work at the community television center in its inception, in its early years, when it was in the basement of Badger Middle School. And I was the Lone Ranger. I was the sole employee, and I was playing back television for the community on VHS tapes, if you can imagine. And that's what I was shooting original productions and stuff with. So I go back way back to the dark ages. So
can I ask you a question real quick, Mark? This picture behind me is huge. It's like 3 feet by 5 feet. Is that something you guys were using back in the day as a backdrop? That's what John was thinking.
Well, yeah, or we had like curtains and stuff too that we would use that were pretty nondescript. And I had a nice assortment of secondhand furniture from my mother's old living room and a bunch of potted artificial plants. And that was what we used on our set at the time for background. It was pretty lame, but it looked all right on camera,
Nice.
So
that's awesome. Okay, thanks, Mark. You want to go next, Warren? I'm just trying to see who's next on the thing here.
I'm Warren. I work at the West Bend School District in the IT department. I think I've been on the committee since 2007, if I remember right. And I just enjoy being here on the committee.
Awesome. Thanks, Warren. John?
Sure. My name's John. Know me.
Oh, that's right. You guys are working together. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's right. We all know each other. Yeah. Okay. Brad, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Brad Aylesworth. I am originally from Waupun area of Fond du Lac County, Dodge County, and been on the community TV committee for probably 6-7 years now.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Brad. Looks like we got Kyle with us now. You want to introduce yourself, Kyle? We're meeting Nicole Bell, a new member of the community TV family.
So this is my third meeting, I believe. So I just joined earlier this year. It was recommended by our current mayor, Chris Jenkins. So I'm a newbie as well. I've lived in West Bend for most of my life. My wife and I have been here since 2009. One child, 2 dogs now. We just got a puppy 3 weeks ago. So he's settling. I work for US Bank during the day and otherwise live in West Bend. Like it here.
What kind of puppy?
So it's interesting. So our first dog was from Indiana, and that was the only information we had on her. But this one actually was a stray in Houston. He was surviving off of dirt and grass for sustenance, but he's a terrier mix, so he could be anywhere between 60 to 80 pounds, depending on how big he grows. But he's a big softie,
So who knows,
and he's really well
answer.
behaved.
Yeah.
He's almost, besides a few accidents here and there and being a little nippy, it's amazing how, well-mannered he is.
Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. Is there anything else there, Jess, or you want to go on to the next line item here?
Sure. We can move on.
Quarterly report.
Would it be helpful if I pulled it up on my screen?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Let's see. One second. All right. Are you able to see my screen okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Trying to close some things out. All right. Well, thank you, first of all, to Nicole, our new member, for helping put this report together. I mean, John and I both have a role in providing some data and such and oversight, but Nicole really took reins on this one this time, and that was fantastic. We thought we could run through the report and then maybe have each member provide a little update just kind of on what's going on in their area right now, since this report is covering Q3. So we're a little bit past that at this point, but I just kind of want to continue to provide you with updates. And this is the third time we've done this specific report, and looking forward to having kind of a full year under our belt with it and being able to provide you with an annual report next time we meet, just to wrap up the whole 2020 year. So as you can see, we've had really steady growth in Facebook. It's been really positive, a lot of engagement. We've been increasing our reach with posts. By far, the announcements on new businesses, specifically bars and restaurants, have been our most popular posts as of lately. I think people are just excited to see that small businesses in our community are still opening or expanding or doing well during this kind of unusual and challenging year. I mean, there's no doubt there's been a lot of challenges for small and some large businesses too, but it is wonderful to see the support. These posts in particular, one is the Oaken Hog, which opened in September. And it opened where Cafe Sorette used to be on Main Street. And then another one is a bar called the Boardroom, and they offer like board games and activities for people to play. And so there's just been a really great response to those posts, as well as other messages. Here's kind of a peek at our Instagram account, which has really seen quite a bit of growth so far in 2020. And more and more engagement. And Nicole has some things to share what she's been doing this week on Instagram, but which were really fun. And we'll let her get to that in a few minutes. But you can see sort of some of the similar, business announcement did quite well. But then, we were seeing a lot of just photos. People are responding to photos of the community, and even just we took some photos of flowers downtown when the mums, when like the summer flowers were out, and people just really seem to love just photos and the videos. And so we're trying to find a really nice mix of both. And, it's pretty rare that we would post anything on any of our networks without something really visual, because, we just find that we're getting a lot of response to visual storytelling that we can take advantage of. Twitter, has also seen a boost in terms of, followers. This is our sort of lowest in terms of audience, but it has seen growth, and different types of tweets seem to be responding to that audience. So you can see that the Transitional Shutter series, which continues to go strong, has been our top content on Twitter. It also performs really well on the other networks as well. It's a fun post, and if you haven't tuned in for it before, it's every Thursday morning, 7 a.m., and it's been going strong for a couple of years. So every Thursday. And we are still exploring the idea of making that series into a coffee book at some point with the Historical Society as a partner. LinkedIn, here's sort of a snapshot of the last year or so on LinkedIn. Most of the posts here tend to be a little bit more business driven, some updates on businesses in our community. So in the last quarter, you can see that some of the news about Delta Defense and West Bend Mutual had the most response. We put a lot of the news releases on there that we do for the city, any jobs, things like that. So our audience is a little bit different out there on LinkedIn. And I think that we're kind of landing in a really nice place right now in terms of increasing our engagement and our reach. We don't post a lot. You can see we only posted about a little over a dozen times, but it seemed like an area for us to continue to grow and continue posting. Just a few updates. I mean, this year, last time we met was in August, and I really feel like it was just yesterday. It's kind of flown by. We've been extremely busy in communications, and both John and Nicole can give you updates on what they've been doing and just how many meetings and virtual experiences we've hosted or helped with. I don't know, John, do you want to talk a little bit about, the statistics here and I guess what you've been up to?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. This is actually a really great reminder. I had some stuff written down as far as a lot of things that I wanted to touch base on, but I figured we could start here with some of the programming, especially bringing kind of forth the 4th of July Duck Derby that we put together. It was a virtual Duck Derby, I guess you could say, that we filmed to broadcast out on the 4th of July. So they could continue their tradition on of hosting a Duck Derby despite not having people there. So we were able to still film that event and provide it on the 4th of July. We aired the replay of the 4th of July parade from last year on TV. And then right afterwards, we aired the Duck Derby on TV as well. So people could kind of still enjoy that tradition of 4th of July. They couldn't be at Regner Park or downtown, but we kind of still brought that environment to them this year, which was great. And speaking of 4th of July, we were also able to live stream the fireworks this year for everybody to encourage people to stay at their house and watch safely from where they were, which was a really great hit. It seemed to do really, really well from a Facebook Live video, which was great. It was certainly not the best shoot that we've ever done, and we were in the middle of the woods, kind of in the weeds, shooting that stuff, and it was very mosquito-y that night, but it was still very nice and in a good spot to do it. And like I said, it seemed like people really enjoyed it. So the 4th of July was I think, from our department standpoint, something that we really did a great job all around, not only from the production standpoint, but really just in this time of uncertainty, still being able to provide a lot of the great traditions that West Bend has come accustomed to, just in a different manner. So I appreciate Jess putting this together and Nicole putting this together to really highlight something that, in all honesty, it slipped my mind for a half a second about what we did for the 4th of July, but I'm glad that it got brought back up. So stuff like that is things that we've been continuing to do since March, and we've been really just adapting our bid campaign videos. That photo that you saw from our Instagram feed was actually from a night of filming that we were doing. It was a great day of filming for our phase 3 video, which was wonderful. But even something like that, where it was kind of just a quick snapshot at the end of the day, it really turned into something that generated a lot of great content. YouTube through this whole thing has been a growing entity for us, and has really become a great resource for us here at the city. I'm not going to downplay what our video on demand site and our cable site does, because I feel like they have really seen a lot of great growth as well. But I feel like in this instance, we've really seen YouTube kind of take its own shape a little bit, and we found a really great audience here. And one thing that I will touch on with YouTube and kind of touching on these statistics is you can kind of see 94.7% of our viewers were from the US, but we had people from Canada, Germany, and Japan tuning in for our live football games that we did this season. The WIAA restricted the number of fans that could be in attendance for football games, so we partnered with the West Bend School District and the IT department to help us provide live broadcasts, which was great. We were given the Booster Hut down by the stands this year, so we had our own little media tent. I have to give 100% credit to Barry Hirsch and Tom Stoff, who are out there every week providing great coverage for these games. It was something that I was extremely proud of, our department, that they were able to do this week in and week out. But touching on those statistics, one thing that I did want to point out is that we did, the gentleman from Japan texted Barry actually while he was watching the game, because we had the text the announcer feature where Barry put his personal phone number out on the airwaves, which I wasn't a fan of at first, but he said, no, it's fine. I said, okay, I've got a work phone. You can use that. You don't have to worry about people texting you afterwards. No, it's great. But I guess there was a serviceman in Japan waking up for the morning, eating his breakfast, watching his nephew play football in West Bend that morning. So that was something that I thought we really served our community. No matter how far our community reaches, we were able to serve our community that day. And I don't think it gets any more bigger than community TV than that. So
big worldwide.
Yeah. That was the first game. So I was like, oh boy, we're really in for it this season. But the homecoming day game did really great. That had over 1,800 views just on YouTube alone, just from that game. So people were watching it outside of the stadium, and I say luckily we finished up this week, because it was really starting to wear and tear on everybody a little bit. But it was something that our team did a great job of adapting and really getting used to a live production, which it came with some challenges, just figuring out connection and everything like that. But not only that, we were able to use our Business of the Month videos and use those as commercials. So when we had down moments in the games and stuff like that, we were able to promote our local businesses, such as just it was almost like a regular game. You're just watching a regular game with commercial breaks, except we were promoting West Bend businesses. I got a call from one of the businesses the next day saying, hey, someone said that they heard my elevator pitch during the football game. I don't know what that means. What was that? And they were watching our Business of the Month videos during the football game. So we were able to help cross promote a little bit during that production. So again, Tom Stoff and Barry Hirsch just did a phenomenal job, and we're going to be looking forward to basketball. I don't know how much we're going to be doing as far as live productions with basketball. Football is a little easier because it's once a week and everything like that. But we do have plans to continue what we started this February with. We did the East-West games all live, and I don't see us changing that at all. So that's one of those really great bright spots. And like I said, with YouTube being a great resource for us, we were able to broadcast on YouTube, and then I took the feed from YouTube and funneled it through our council chamber feed and the laptop to get it on our cable channels. So we were able to broadcast live on cable and through internet as well for 7 weeks for football. So yeah, so those were some the highlights that I wanted to bring forward as far as our broadcasting team and what we've been able to accomplish. We've really grown our reach during this time and taken advantage of the opportunities that we've had to do some really fun things. And I don't think we're quite through yet, so I'm excited. But here are our Business of the Month videos as well. Like I was kind of touching on a little bit with the football. We saw a little bit of a down lull, I guess you could say, in reach for Q3 compared to Q2, but Q2 was amazing. So I don't really want to downplay too much what Q3 did compared to what Q2 did, because Q2 is something that we haven't seen ever before with these type of videos. So to be honest, the reach you can kind of see with Blue Luna 11,000 and then Pizza Ranch 19,000, that's still an amazing reach. It was just a little bit lower than last quarter, but they're still steadily doing really, really well. So that was really nice to see and kind of get a good variety of businesses here. So yeah, those are the statistics. If you guys have any questions, I'll happily take them now, or I'll pass it off to Nicole as well. She can kind of explain a little bit more about the fun metrics behind all this stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, I also just want to say, like, John has done an amazing job leading, the CTV team in terms of producing videos and getting everybody to every meeting and location and getting everything rolled out with the Castas system. I mean, it's been a really complicated and intense year, and like, I'm just so thankful for John and all the work that he's done, and Barry and Tom and everybody for making it possible. I mean, this has been tons of videos, tons of live broadcasts, helping others in the community, be virtual, and it's just really been a time to step up, and John really has done that. Well, thanks, John.
Thank you. That was extremely kind. Sorry.
John, Jess, and everybody else, I can't understand a word you guys are saying.
Oh.
I'm really sorry, but I don't know what the hell's going on. It's not my phone. It's got to be something with the system, because you're chopping. I mean, I know that you're talking. I can hear your voice, but it's the whole time. So I don't. If there's a transition that needs to happen, maybe Jess, you might have to handle it, because I can't hear anything that's going on. I assume everyone else can.
Yes.
Is anyone else having any trouble?
Okay.
No, my feed's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
Mine was doing that for the first few minutes I was on. Mine was doing that, but then when you started showing us the PowerPoint slides, then everything's been fine since. So, for what it's worth.
It's all right, Justice. I just went through all the bad news, so you didn't miss anything.
Justice, I'll try texting or sending you a chat message, but I'll close my screen so that it's a little easier. But Nicole, do you want to give them an update on some of the things that you've been working on?
Sure. So since I started in September, we kind of jumped into fall things, but one of the biggest events I think that I helped work on was the Parks Drive-Through Pumpkin Patch event, which was a really fun event that was still safe for everybody, but it was great to get everyone out, get involved in the community. So it was really awesome. Fleet Farm donated 500 pumpkins and let families come pick them up and carve them and come bring them back. So it was a big social media push. We helped with getting the coupons out, making sure everyone could come and have a great, safe time. So that was one of the really big fun things that we got to do. Jess had hinted earlier, yesterday I was doing an Instagram takeover actually for an account called Engaging Local Government Leaders. So I basically got to sign in on their account and make posts about the city and the things we're doing, and post a bunch of really cool pictures all day, which I think had drawn a lot of new followers to us, which is awesome. So hopefully we can keep doing stuff like that and get other people to start following. I think, Instagram and visuals and pictures are really big right now, and I think that's a great way to draw attention to the network. So hoping to develop more plans to get that going. I've also been trying to reach out to some publications using some of my networking from my previous experience to try to get the city covered in some of these publications. Still in process there, but hoping that can hopefully take off in the next couple of months and get West Bend and the things that we're all doing on the map of everybody too.
Thanks, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Nicole has done an awesome job at jumping in and, you know, sort of going with the flow and stepping in wherever we've needed her. I'm trying to call Justice in. Hey, Justice.
I'm here.
All right, great. We've got it.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I tried calling the WebEx number back again. Even the WebEx message on there that gets you to the next step was doing the same thing. It was all crackly. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So Nicole just gave her update on some of the things that she's been working on. I also and just wanted to reiterate my thanks for her and all that she's done so far, and just the, you know, sort of limited time that she's been here. I feel like you've done a lot and have been able to just jump right in and be a great new member of our team. So, you know, we're both happy for you to be here and excited about what we have to come. So thanks, Nicole.
Yeah,
And on that note, Nicole, what do you have coming up next?
I'm still trying to formulate plans to try to get more people following us. I think it's really important, I guess, to keep pushing pictures and videos and get as many young people as we can get involved, because I feel like Facebook has kind of, a lot of people started deleting Facebook. So hoping that we can kind of start forming more plans to keep the numbers rising in all these other accounts, and still trying to push to get us seen in other places and with publications and stuff. So I think those are the big targets right now. And then kind of helping, you know, within the community as much as I can, getting words out with events and things that are happening within shops and stuff like that. So kind of anything that's needed at this point to help within the community as much as it can.
Okay.
Awesome.
A couple things. It feels like it was a long time ago, but since we last met, we did have our second drive-through movie event. And I can't remember if we had talked about that or not in August. I think it was just coming up. So John, I don't know if you want to talk about that at all, but that was a fantastic event and kind of
John got really excited all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, we did. I forgot about it. It was Hook. It was great. We did the drive-in movie. The first one we did was Frozen in July, which it turned out great. So phenomenal that they wanted us to do it again next month. So we said, yeah. We got the licensing for another movie, did another Facebook poll, and Jess and I were kind of spitballing a little bit. And I said, well, what if we put Hook on? And she's like, well, I love that movie. So we put it up as a vote, and like, sure enough, people loved it. And we thought it'd be a little different from what we normally had done with strictly kind of children's movies and everything. We thought, well, maybe we can get a little bit of different audience here and kind of introduce ourselves to a little bit of a new audience, you know. And it seemed to work. We still got a great amount of turnout. Our sponsors were extremely happy. It didn't rain, which is the first time ever that's happened. I'm pretty sure we got hail. But it really turned out to be another great event where the community was extremely happy. I don't know if we heard one negative word after the first one, and I don't know if we heard a negative word after the second one. It was something, and I really have to give thanks to the Parks Department, because they helped construct this huge mega screen that we use so everyone can see in the way far back of the park. I mean, this thing was giant. I can't even remember how big it was, but we used PVC piping to pretty much throw a tarp over this PVC pipe and then 2 industrial lifts to get this up to the treetops. And it was just phenomenal. It was a great event done by everybody. The marketing was wonderful. I couldn't have been more excited or thrilled to be a part of it. It was just one of those great community events that we put together essentially last minute, because I think that was like mid-July that we got that done, and this was just as quick a turnaround. So we'll be looking to kind of potentially keep with the drive-in theme maybe next year if we're in the same situation, but we're 100% equipped to do it. And if we want to move back to our traditional pavilion spot, we're ready to do that as well. But I think we're more equipped to do some more fun things with that event moving forward as a community TV event. It was something that I was really happy with. It was a great night and just all around a lot of fun. So I hope you guys, I don't know if any of you guys got to go to any of our movie nights, but I highly suggest it in the next year. It was great. Good popcorn, good food. It was a beautiful night.
I have not, but I'd really like to.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The only thing we had to work out was some cars dying at the end of the night, but other than that, it wasn't bad.
Jess, is the bid still talking about doing a Christmas movie downtown?
Yep. So since the last quarter, I became the executive director of the bid. So our team has been even more involved with the bid than we have in the past. And so we're working with them on presenting 5 free movie nights at the Bend. It's we also did a Facebook and social media poll to have the community select which video they wanted. Movie. And so it's going to be Elf, it's going to begin the night, on November 29th through December 3rd. So 5 free nights. And the Bend is offering, an online ticketing software, but all free tickets so people can sign up and it'll be a limited capacity and as safe as it can be. And so we're excited to offer that and work with them on it and collaborate. We aren't necessarily doing the video work or anything like that, but we did assist in the promotion and just helping offer something to the community, and the bid made that possible. So that's really great. And thanks, Justice. So in advance, I guess, or in addition to some of the things that we've been talking about, our team worked really hard over the summer on a marketing campaign for the bid. And I believe we talked a little bit about it in August, but we produced 3 videos that would promote business, driving business to downtown West Bend and really educating people on what's available in downtown, between shops and entertainment and outdoor recreation that they could still enjoy during the pandemic, while also supporting the businesses that really needed it most. So, great job to the team for making that happen. We were able to have the videos streaming on the Google Ads network, YouTube, during regular programming. So they were literal ads that we were running for the last about 6 months. And also they were sponsored ads and promotions on Facebook and other social network channels. So the bid was going to pay for that, but and they still are paying for part of it, but we were also able to secure just a couple of weeks ago a travel stimulus grant from the Wisconsin Department of Tourism. And so this is new news. This is news provided Justice as well, but we received $12,000 to recuperate all of the costs involved in the advertising. So that's exciting, and that's made possible through the CARES Act, and because we made those videos directly to support businesses during, the pandemic. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so our team's been doing more grant writing and looking at new sources of revenue. So that's just one example. John did some, and he reported that out last time, but some graduations and other events that we were paid to go out a little farther and provide services, video services. So, as we get to the budget conversations and our financials, we are actively seeking different revenue streams so that we're less dependent on franchise fees as we continue to move forward in that kind of unsure arena as the future holds. Right. So that's been great. And then in addition, our mayor is very interested in communications and public relations, which has been really great. And he requested that we put together an annual report for, I'm not sure if we've had an annual report go out to our community before or not, but we are sending a printed annual report out with the tax bill in December. So that was a kind of a larger project just completed. So it basically has some high level statistics from every department, sort of an overview of, what the tax dollars have gone to fund. And I know communications isn't necessarily funded through tax, but it is a project that we worked on for it. And I think it's really exciting to have a little bit of a snapshot of a year go out to everyone. So
That's a great idea, actually.
yeah, and we've made it so that the piece is exactly the amount of weight that it will not add to the the mailing cost itself. So it's just basically the printing, and everybody's taking a lot of care in making sure that it's an economical project as well. So yeah.
Just back to the downtown conversation of the advertising program that you guys are doing.
Yep.
Have you gotten a response from any of the businesses down there and how well that's affecting them?
We have had some. We did a survey earlier on. The campaign's actually still running right. I was planning to be finished up in October, but then we had to switch credit cards at the city and there was a little 2-week break. So I do plan to do another survey of businesses downtown. We've had I'll have a pretty comprehensive report when it's all said and done. It'll be done next Sunday. So we've definitely had a response from the public, but I am anxious to hear from businesses and connect with them on, their return on this project. So
sure.
Mm-hmm. Great. So should we move on to the next topic?
Do it. Your financial summary for 2021 budget?
Sure. As well, if that's helpful.
Incidentally, we just did we just approved 2021 budget for the city on Monday. That was fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a more than typical boring meeting. That was a fun one.
Right. Yeah, Jen recorded it all, so you're welcome to spend some time watching that video. It was a good meeting and productive, and in the end, the budget has been passed, so that's great, and we can proceed with plans for next year, which is very helpful. Let's see, I need to hide all of you guys because I can't see my screen. Hopefully you can see mine though.
Yep.
So this is as of 11/4, so it's not through it. It's past Q3, which is great. Sort of year to date, we have the fund balance, which is sitting pretty nicely. But this year, quite a bit of money was taken out of the fund balance. So you can see down under fund balance applied, it was 173, which is a pretty solid amount. A lot of that was for capital expenses that went toward police and fire. And those were things that were planned on last summer in 2019 during that budget process. So that was a big expense and kind of a one-time gift to those departments, which is great. We're happy to support them. Though you will see our 2021 budget coming up here. We are not planning to be doing that next year in that capacity because franchise fees are changing as well. So you can see our revenue coming in so far. It does come in throughout the year quarterly, so it's looking pretty good and on track. We have had quite a bit of cable TV income that through that marketing campaign and other services that have been provided. That's been a really nice boost, and we'll keep on exploring that as we move forward. Our expenses are sort of right on track so far. We're looking pretty good. There have been some things that we haven't had to spend a lot of money on so far. The cable outlay is, that's kind of the area that the fund balance has been applied for those special projects. So I anticipate that to get up to the 251 by the end of the year. So it says we still have 59 available, but I'm sure that it'll get spent. But there are some other areas that I think will come in under. So that's great. We don't have a whole lot left remaining in the year. So in general, I guess we're looking pretty good in terms of revenue and in our balance sheet. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Just in the email, you said that you're going to send out a packet. Did that ever get sent out? I didn't see it in my email
Did you
at
not
all.
receive the agenda packet?
I don't
I
think
didn't
I
see it
did.
either. No, I didn't see it either.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, this is it, so I can make sure you have it for your records too, and to be reviewing it more in detail. I'm happy to, if you have questions, you know, after you review it all, if you have any questions, send it to me. But we do send out the agenda packet, and we sent it out last week and through our Minute Track software. And so it does tend to get caught in spam. So we'll have to check into that, but I'll send it to you from my own email, and if you didn't get it.
Okay, appreciate that.
This is up on the city website too.
Yep.
If you're having a hard time locating that, try the city website under the community TV section in there.
Mm-hmm. So then I guess diving into the 2021 operating budget. So the budget, they was formally approved for next year. We have our new org chart and mission and vision and values that we had worked on together back in the spring. You will see there are some changes in terms of like our FTE appointments, things like that. So my role has been split between economic development and communications a bit. So 50% here and there. We added, which has allowed us to do a little bit of adjusting. And so we were able to add the full-time communications manager along with John's role, and then our part-time production assistants have stayed the same in terms of amount. We have some performance metrics that are in here that we put in, you know, we worked on this back in July. So, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm anticipating we'll hit about 17,000 with Facebook. We're already surpassed 16.5, so that's good. And, you know, our numbers are looking nice there. But in terms of goals for 2021, you know, we're looking to sort of reignite the internship program that we've had in the past. I mean, this year there wasn't the events that, you know, are typically offered that we would use interns for. And so hopefully next year there's more of an opportunity for that. Plus schooling was moved online. It was just sort of an oddball, but we were looking to continue to expand our social media following and some of the content that we're putting out there, and continue to do that. And then I've been tasked with having us develop the first marketing communications plan. So the City of West Bend Common Council and all the department heads have been working hard at putting together a new strategic plan for the City of West Bend. And so that has just become almost finalized, or it's in more of a finished state. And so that will allow us to sort of work off of that plan to come up with a more formalized communication strategy in 2021. So I won't go through our budget in detail, I'll let that to you guys, but I'll go down to the summary page at least. Let's see. So here is our summary. I'd say the biggest change for next year is in the revenue category in terms of franchise fees. We are looking at a pretty serious decline in franchise fees. We had some conversations with the Wisconsin Community Media and have been projecting quite a bit lower in terms of franchise fees this coming year and for years to come. The state did create a new video provider aid that was sent to our way, that $39,760 back in July. And so that will be an amount that we'll be counting on for years to come. And it is meant to sort of recoup costs from that franchise fees being lowered and continuing to go down as people are either dumping cable and going to different streaming platforms and many different things that are happening in that space. So that gives us even more reason to take out less from our, fund balance, so that we have that as a backup and in case we need it as we go forward. and then, you know, continue to look for additional revenue sources with income. So when it comes to this sheet here showing the revenue, we definitely curtailed our expenses for 2021 and don't plan to do some, you know, sort of the major projects. I mean, this year we had a really major expense with the new Castis system that was over $40,000. So that was sort of a one-time expense, plus like the annual licensing fees, which we already had kind of similar licensing set up, but the one-time major expense we won't have next year. We also had some major IT expenses that came out of our budget that we won't have next year. So we're looking at, you know, a quite different view in terms of our financials, but we're still in a really good place, and the franchise fees are still really positive, but we're trying to be a little more conservative with taking it from our general fund.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So I guess, yeah, that's what I have for our budget and for financials moving forward.
Awesome. Okay, I gotta get that. All right. Well, I guess we need to talk about dates for 2021. Unless is there any other questions about the financials, or any other questions in general? Comments. All right. Very good. So
Way easier than Monday. Wow.
what's that?
I said that was way easier than Monday with the budget discussion. Thanks, guys.
Right. Very true, John. Very true. Yeah, Monday was a little bit.
A little dicey.
Do you have the 2021 schedule mapped out?
So I don't. I was thinking it might be a nice discussion.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe we should move our meetings out a month, because in the budget process, like the city does typically formulate the communications budget a little bit later in the process, because some of the other budgets they just do first. It's just not in that order.
Sure.
But it might be nice to have more of a conversation around budget. At least I would love your opinions and to have more conversation around that moving forward. And so maybe instead of meeting in August, we meet in July. That's kind of when we start getting going with some of those conversations, and we could talk a little bit more about plans for the next year in terms of like major, you know, expenses or, you know, equipment upgrades, things like that.
That's something I talked to the mayor about before he even got elected, that he needed to get the aldermen involved in the process while there was still time to make changes if that was necessary, or if that's what constituents were looking for or whatever. So I think that's a great idea, Jess. Yeah.
Great. So maybe if there is one in July, then we maybe back up and have one in, you know, April or so, and then maybe one to kick off the year. I mean, that might be nice. So I think we can still kind of meet quarterly. I mean, that would be helpful to us as a team.
Okay.
I don't know if this time works for you guys. Wednesdays, 6 o'clock. It seems like that's been kind of our meeting schedule.
I can make that work myself. How does everybody else feel?
I have no problem.
Okay with me. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, great. And I'll just send out the dates, but it would be great, I think, to kick off the year, maybe report out as on the full year, and then sort of look ahead in January sometime. So maybe like the second or third week of January, we could have our first meeting, and I'll just chart out a few dates.
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about social media relative to the holidays and all that too.
Yeah, sounds good. And then, I haven't met some of you in person, and I know Nicole hasn't. And I know it's a weird year, but we did think that maybe it would be nice to get together sometime if you feel comfortable. If not, we can put that off to another time. But even just like a friendly come by the office sometime and say hello, or a happy hour, I'd be happy to, do something like that. Would enjoy the opportunity to see you and have conversations. So, or just some coffee would be great.
For sure.
So,
are you talking like individually or as a group or?
I guess either way, it might be maybe a little bit easier to do it individually if you want to come in sometime or you want to meet up. I mean, I'd love to have a group something someday, but right now it's a little tricky, but.
Right.
But I'd be happy to have you come and check out some of the new things that we've got going on in John's studio space and meet Nicole in person and kind of just connect on, what you're most interested in and being a part of this committee and how we can work together.
That's wonderful. Please take her up on that. I'll stop by for sure soon.
Cool.
I've been meaning to stop by to meet Nicole anyways. I just, whatever, just this COVID thing's got everything's so screwed up.
Yeah.
Including my sound situation on my freaking computer. I really apologize for this, guys. It's just frustrating. Anyway, is there anything else?
I don't have anything.
No, everybody's good. We'll just wait to hear from future dates from you, Jess. And again, nice to meet you, Nicole, and welcome to the group.
Thank you.
So I guess with that, we'll adjourn, and we'll see you guys in a couple months.
All right, sounds good, guys. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Happy holidays a little early.
Happy holidays, you too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.